Ready for that?
What's that, Fitz?
Huh?
What's that?
It's a tripod.
What's today's video going to be?
Us training in the shed.
Training reflections,
Training reflections.
number 10 maybe?
Is it number 10?
But this will be the first to be videoed.
And then we're going to do a podcast. Mm-hmm. This is very complicated now. There's a level on it.
There's a screw, right? There's threading at the bottom here.
Is there threading on it?
Oh, there's threading.
Fuck it. We have to get started.
Is there no threading in this?
Right. This is training reflections.
Yep.
Where do we train today?
In the high performance center or the high performance unit?
This is the High Performance Centre, otherwise known as my shed.
Nothing wrong with it.
No. So today's training session was fairly short
For you.
for me.
Yeah.
Bit
of phlegm there, Fitz.
Yeah, bit phlegmy.
Is that from all the exercise?
It's from all the aerobic exercise. So today I hit a new PB. I hang clean 145, which is something I'm very, very happy about.
It gets to be a PB training reflections for Fitz.
Yeah. So
God bless you and many more to come.
I've been doing hang cleans and hang power cleans from high hang for probably the last 5 or 6 weeks. I'm in like a bit of an off season at the moment. So I just picked, I'm very, very bad at hang, or especially high hang cleans.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think that is?
I think I just had a really bad habit. So from doing fairly high rep hang cleans when I was playing rugby and doing CrossFit and stuff like that, just got into this habit of I'd drop into that position. So I'd hinge my hips back, bend my knees, and then I'd leave the bar swing out like 6 inches and then slam it into the front of my quads.
And that's not optimal for technique.
No, and like it means you can do loads of high hang cleans pretty fast. So
Yeah.
like if you've like high reps or something.
Especially high hang power cleans.
Yeah, and like in workouts or in like conditioning pieces, it's very, very easy to do high reps like that.
Yeah.
At considerable weight because you're using a lot of oscillation of the bar. The bar bends a lot when you do it. But it in no way turns over to your main clean,
Zero.
to your full clean.
Literally.
In fact, it makes your full clean worse.
100%.
So I started doing those back end of June, I think.
Yeah.
And I've built up, and then last week I did a high hang power clean at 140. So I knew this week I'd be good for a bit more in a full clean.
You just did lots of singles, really, didn't you? You never really did a lot
No.
of reps in those.
No. It was
Light
a lot of
singles.
single. What I used to do is when I'd be building up, I'd do reps at 100 kilos
Yeah.
and 3 or 4 sets.
Not really built for reps on the lift, so
I'm not built for reps at all. The only thing
yeah.
that I had to my advantage is my giant, long, gangly hands. So I can recycle a bar very, very easily, going from front rack down to a hang position back to a front rack.
It's almost a snatch grip for some people.
So that's pretty much the only advantage. But I was really happy to hit that PB.
You know, funnily enough, so if anyone remembers the prep for London Olympics in weightlifting, there was going to be 3 absolute behemoths competing. So one of them was Kazimierat Akayev. So he was a fantastic lifter. He was unbelievable. He did 210, 250 in training as a 105.
What?
Phenomenal. And he said one time in an interview that the Russian sports scientist had determined that he responds better to single reps in his training as opposed to high reps like the rest of the Russian team.
Yeah.
And 210, 250 says it all. You can say what you want. But it's interesting. And it's like, I'm sure across, there's a minimum torso volume that you need to hit, of course, in lifts, and you have to get there through different means. But for him, he found that doing obviously trees or something and high reps and block snatches didn't work. And he was incredibly explosive and very low muscle mass.
Yeah.
Neither of which you have. No, like he was, you would not think he was a weightlifter, like.
Yeah.
And his jerk was
Like myself.
unbelievable. His jerk was unbelievable. It was so good. His clean was horrendous, but he used to be able to clean like 240, like 245.
Yeah.
Interesting to note.
Very interesting. That would actually make a lot of sense. So like in sports science, you have optimal power outputs at different weights.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've like been like a participant in a load of studies up in UL, and it's like a very, very standard master's thesis is you take 50 people and you'd get them to do a back squat with a dynamometer on the bar and measure their power output.
Yeah.
And my power outputs are always a lot higher at 80% or above, whereas usually like general pop is like 60 to 65%.
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know, would there be some correlation between that? Yeah, but anyway, I've been doing a lot of singles. Those hit a PB. I'm very happy. Want to do 160 before January. And I'm going to keep it going into my general training.
You could have done 150 today, I think, for sure.
Yeah.
If you had just a little bit of, I suppose, once you've PB'd, sometimes the old the ghost of PB's past kind of leaves you, and your is gone. You know,
you have a lot more when you're going for the PB, the first PB. Whereas like then adding another 5 kilos, you're just like, this would be nice if I got it.
It's hard. Like
the
only thing you can do in that situation is jump to the bigger PB first and use the but that's not recommended for sure.
But then if you use up all the
and you miss,
oh,
you're gone.
Oh boy,
you're done for. So a lot of times you're better off just finishing getting that PB and being happy and leaving more in the tank. Sometimes. Then
after that, I did like 40 minutes of wood chopping.
Yeah, GPP.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
As you finished your training session in proper order.
I did. So I started off with some at least once a week now. I'm doing no foot cleans or power cleans. Sometimes I just warm into them, and I just literally worked up to 130 from no foot stuff.
Is it because you feel more grounded to the earth, like the yoga people do when they go barefoot around the world?
I think it desalts you or something, isn't it?
I think it deionizes your skin.
I was feeling acidic, and I just wanted to bring myself back a bit basic, you know. So I did those up to 130. I use those just to make sure I'm using my traps really hard, and I'm staying flat-footed as long as possible, which are the two biggest cues I think about in my clean, as well as pulling my knees back. So then I worked up to those to 130, and I gradually moved into full cleans, which I did a little thing we learned from Miso, or Hassano family all seem to do it. It's where you do it. So you do your first clean from the ground, or whatever, power clean, full clean, doesn't matter. And then you immediately go into the hang clean, but you don't pause at the bottom of the, let's say you're going to just above the knee. As soon as you hit just above the knee, you turn around fast and go back into it.
Yeah.
So you'll see from the video there, at whatever point it's playing.
It's a really fast turnover.
So as fast as you can. Sometimes it's good to do 2 or 3 reps. So you're just forcing a really fast turnover and being really sharp and really precise for your positions as you can. After that, then I just did some pulls with pauses above the knee or at the knee, kind of, just for like sets of 3, not too heavy. And then I did my back squats, my usual back squats from, like I did like 2x4, 2x3, and 2x2. And then that was it, really.
Interesting note.
Yeah.
The back squat with the cons.
Oh yeah, sorry, actually, forgot to mention that. So I've cut down some body weight recently because for my clean and jerk, as Gabriel said, basically I clean jerk more if I lost some body weight. Basically, I was getting in the way. My upper body was a bit too big, and as a result, I'm down to about 100 kilos, down from about 105. And I'm going to stay at 100 kilos, but maybe a little bit lower, a kilo or 2 in like 2 months. Maybe we'll see how it goes. And as a result, obviously, I've lost some mass. My mobility has increased, as was the desired effect, but it increased too much in my lower body, basically. So
basically, Gerf's squat got around 3 inches deeper.
Literally 3 inches deeper, and there's basically an extra portion to my squat. And it's just not what I want or need. And
no.
I definitely don't need it. And I definitely don't want it.
Yeah.
So laziness. Last week I squatted just on my squat only day. I wore no shoes or belt or wraps or whatever, or sleeves. And as I was squatting like 160 and 180, they felt almost better than I did with shoes and sleeves on. So today I said I just chanced them with cons and sleeves and belt on.
Yeah.
Usual Sands weightlifting shoes. And lo and behold, they were much better. How did they look visually?
Looked great. So I think you're definitely getting a lot more like interaction with your hips. You're definitely getting a lot more glute contraction.
Yeah.
On the web. The pattern of the squat looks a lot closer to what your standard squat used to look like before.
Yeah, yeah.
Your squat for the last kind of 4 or 5 weeks has looked alien.
Yeah.
Because it's just like...
It fucking felt it fits.
Yeah, and like you're so used to seeing that down, up, down, upwards. Now it's like down.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he's still going.
Yeah.
It was like you're standing on a piece of foam and just sinking deeper and deeper, and then you'd come back up out of it.
There's more at the top.
Yeah, and that bottom portion of the squat was
deep.
As you said, was so undertrained.
Yeah.
That it just didn't look right.
But it was never there before.
No.
That wasn't part of my lift.
No. it'll be interesting to see moving forward now how the cons
Yeah.
and how that like, and obviously you're going to be wearing your shoes, like you'll start transitioning into that more and more, but it'll be interesting to see how like training your squat for the next number of weeks with just a flat shoe will alter your normal squat.
I think before, maybe like last year before, I would have been a bit attached to weightlifting shoes and thought, I can't squat in flats.
Is it because you have 17 million pairs?
I don't know why, but there's some kind of an identity, you know.
Yeah.
There's like, I've got weightlifting shoes.
Yeah.
Now these felt way better. Even like 190s, I've seen the video, like the reps are very smooth. Like they felt like it's continuum as opposed to 3 individual reps that were uncomfortable for everyone involved. Yeah. Feels much better now.
The scheme of the squat looked a lot more similar to Shiki's.
Yes.
Very knees out.
Yeah.
Like
without pushing.
A lot of glutes recruitment.
Yeah.
And obviously incredibly quadsy.
But it felt immediately better, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's kind of counterintuitive because cons are so comfy.
So comfortable.
And doing good squats, that makes no sense. It's confusing, but I'm incredibly happy with that.
Yeah.
And thanks for listening, lads. So hopefully some of you are watching or / listening to this on YouTube as well. So I hope you enjoy it. And smash the like button. I didn't. Don't say that.
Don't say.